Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be discussing Vaughn from EM&VON, Chris Sails, and two other. Basically, we're going to be talking about why Chris Sails and his friends are about to face 10 years, up to 10 years in prison on some dumb. Okay, so your girl already knew about this when it first came out. I was just trying to wait a little bit and see if any more information was going to come out. So let's start from the beginning. June 14th, Vaughn from EM&VON and Chris Sails made a video basically impersonating a cop with two other friends. And Vaughn posted it to his channel on EM&VON. And basically they used a undercover car or like a police officer car with some lights on top and a badge from one of Vaughn's friends that happened to be a police officer. However, I don't think that she was a police officer, and I'm gonna get to why I feel like she's not a police officer, but let's just talk about the video first. So the video was basically them impersonating cops. They each took turns pulling over people, showing the badge, flashing the lights, and they presented themselves as an officer, basically a traffic cop. And they were pulling them over, and they told them why they were pulling them over. And then at the end, if stuff started to get a little shaky, then they would say, it's a prank, it's a prank. You know, they did this to at least 3 people is what I've seen on the little snippets of the video that I seen. I'm not gonna post the video in this video, but I am gonna post a link to where you can watch it on a channel that I support. So you can go ahead and watch it on that channel in the description down below for you guys. The reason why I don't wanna post it on my channel is because I don't want this video to be too long. So I just wanna give my thoughts and opinions on it and then keep it pushing. So anyway, they did that. The first person they did was a guy, and he was real cool about it. You know, he just kept it pushing, you know. And then there was a lady who wasn't having it. She wasn't buying none of the bullshit. And then they came up on another guy, and this guy looked staged as hell. Like this whole scene with the third guy, it just seemed so staged because they went up to him. Well, one of the dudes went up to him, and it went from 0 to 100 real quick. And dude pulled out a gun, and it just seemed fake as fuck. Then that was like the gist of the video. Now I seen this on the 15th, June 15th on EM&VON's channel. So I knew about this for a good minute. Whenever you hear someone impersonating a cop, like a cop is the law. And when you're impersonating the law, like that is a crime. You know what I mean? So how they thought they was going to get away with this is completely beyond me. Like the whole thing was so stupid, but it just seemed up Chris' alley. Like he's known for doing dumb shit that don't make sense. Like if y'all even know a little bit about Chris and who he is as a person, you understand where I'm coming from. Like it seems like something he would do, right? Now here's my thing though. I don't think this was his idea fully. Honestly, if I'm being completely 100% honest, even though this seemed like it's up Chris's alley, that this is something that he would do and he would come up with, I don't think he came up with this. I think it was Vaughn's idea because number one, it ended up being on Vaughn's channel. And number two, Vaughn is the one that had the friend who had the car and the badge and the police equipment, and she's supposedly a police officer and this and that and the third. So I think this was completely Vaughn's idea. But tell me this though, why the hell was Vaughn's bail lower than Chris's bail? It was like half of Chris's bail. I think Vaughn's was $2,500 and Chris's bail was $5,000. Why? I don't know. They were charged with the same impersonating a cop. So So I don't know why Chris's bail was more than Von's. Maybe Chris put up a fight, because if you see him in his mugshot, he looked pissed, resisted arrest. So maybe they upped his bail because of that. Probably assaulted the police officer, so that's probably why they upped his bail for the same crime, but whatever. Now, here's what I don't get. Let me talk about this girl real quick. Okay, so this girl, she's supposedly a police officer, but she over here reaching out to YouTubers that's not even like super well known. Like, a lot of us don't know who TNK Squad is, or TNK Gang, or whatever you want to call these. A lot of people don't know them. So for her to reach out to them is beyond me. I can see if you reach out to like All TL Shade, but to reach out to TNK Squad, like, really? Like, that just didn't seem like something a police officer would do. First of all, that's number one. Number two, a real police officer is not going to loan their equipment to anybody. I don't care, not even the badge. Somebody can walk up to you and be like, oh, can I borrow your badge for a second? I just want to show it off to my friends. Do you honestly think a police officer is going to do that? Whether it's family, friend, or a stranger, a police officer is not going to give up their badge. I'm security, bruh. I'm security, and I can't even give up my badge. I wash my shirts with that badge on it. I don't take it off for nothing. So for an officer, quote unquote officer, to just give up her equipment willingly, that is beyond me. Like, first of all, she talks about how she accidentally left her badge in the car, and she didn't know that they was going to use the badge. You shouldn't even loan the car, and you knew you had police equipment in it. You're not a professional police officer, and that she lost her job because of this boy. Well, then that's a good lesson for you. She could have very well her whole career. Like, her whole career gone because of some dumb just when you thought mother didn't get any stupider, they find a way to prove you wrong, man. I swear. But he giving me content. I can't hate him too much. He giving me something to talk about. But if his ass go to prison for 10 years, I ain't gonna have no content. So I don't wish prison on his ass. I don't wish prison on him for that reason. And I don't wish prison on him because of baby CJ. Like, baby CJ, man, this little boy, y'all don't understand. I feel so bad for this little boy. Like, I love Queen to pieces, but it just breaks my heart whenever she's not with him. Because I'm used to the Chris and Queen that has always had baby CJ. That is what I'm used to. I started watching Chris and Queen when they were in that little bitty apartment and they had that red couch. I basically watched baby CJ grow up, and he had both of them all the time. And then it went from that to, like, you know, Queen is moved out. She's in a different state. She's doing her thing, and I support her 100%. But it's like, she don't have baby CJ, and it's the saddest thing. I would never say she's a bad mom for that. I get it. She has to work. I get that. And if you have family and friends that's willing to help you, then by all means. It takes a village to raise a child. And a lot of don't realize that. A lot of these little kids that are subscribed to them don't realize that. They probably never even heard that saying. And then on the other hand, you have Chris, and everybody just praising Chris when it comes to baby CJ because he's always around baby CJ. That's because Chris ain't got going on like that. Chris ain't got on. You see Chris going to state, you know, doing radio interviews? No. Do you see him on stage to stage performing? No. You know what I mean? So he can have baby CJ and still do whatever he's doing. It don't cause him to, like, move around and do tours and all of this. That's why he has Chris so much. And then everybody's like, oh, he's just such a good father because he always has them. And then they frown on Queen because she never has them. She only has them once in a blue moon. I said it myself. Queen only gets baby CJ when it's a holiday, when it's a birthday, or when there's something major going on. She ain't had CJ in a minute. Not until Chris got locked up. Then she want to tweet, that she going to get CJ. Something major went on, right? When it was CJ's birthday, last minute birthday, went and had a last minute birthday for him. When it was her mom's birthday or when there's like a holiday or something, then she goes to him. It has to be one or the other for her to go down there and spend time with her child. I said that myself, but I also realized that she has to work. You know what I mean? She has to work so she can make a future for baby CJ. She's like, in the long run, this is gonna benefit baby CJ because he gonna be able to go to college. He gonna be set for life, y'all. Y'all understand that? He gonna be set for life. He ain't gonna have to worry about tuition, college. He gonna have a car. I guarantee you he gonna have a fucking car at 16, probably even at 15. He gonna be set for life, y'all. He gonna be set for life. But he gonna look back on all these vlogs when he gets older and he gonna realize his mom was never there. His mom was hardly ever there, but his dad was. But as Chris goes to jail, then baby CJ has neither one of them. But he still has his family. He still has their friends. But he needs his mom and his dad. The people that created him. He needs them in his life. Like, I feel like Queen's gonna look back one day and she's gonna regret not spending every day watching his little moments as he grows. And if Chris goes to jail, he gonna have that same regret. Can you just imagine if Chris went to jail for 10 years? That's horrible. Now, I don't like Chris just as much as the next that hates Chris. But let me tell you something. I would not wish jail on anybody. I had my father go to jail for some years. It ruined everything. My dad went to jail for something that he didn't even do. And I lost him for at least 2 years. And when he came back, I couldn't see him. I was kept away from him for a very long time. He couldn't see me graduate elementary school. Like, there's so many moments that I missed out with my dad because of that. It crushed me. And so I feel like it's going to be the same thing with CJ. And that's why I'm praying that God spares Chris and don't let him go to jail. Because if he is convicted of this crime, he will get up to 10 years in prison. This is no joke, people. I know when he first got out of jail, everybody's like, oh yeah, he can just bail himself out. Oh, problem solved. Y'all need to grow up. Y'all need to know the law, do your research, and grow up. Because he did not escape prison. This is not over. All right, he goes back to court next month. And if they convict him of this crime, he is going to do time. Up to 10 years. Now, he might not get a full 10 years, but he could get half that. 5 years. That's 5 years without CJ. Without baby CJ. That's 5 years. Everything, his whole music career is over. Baby CJ be what, 8 or 9 when he get out of jail? That's crazy. Crazy to me. All right. So many birthdays he's gonna miss over this dumb prank, man. And forgive me if I'm not like y'all and want him to go to prison. Alright? I don't want anybody to go to prison. Like I said, I know what it's like to lose a father to prison. But my dad ain't like Chris. My dad ain't do nothing wrong. There's people every day that get convicted of crimes that they don't commit. Chris is guilty of this. And he should be punished for it. But 10 years in prison? No. No. He should be punished. I say if I was the judge and I was responsible for punishing Chris, I would give him probation. I would put his probation and house arrest and some more shit. But I would not take him to prison for no years. And that's just me. Because any years in prison, he's away from CJ and he don't need another parent away from him. I want to show this clip of when Chris got out. He got out and he made this message. And this is what led everybody to believe that he was out and he was going to stay out.
Hey, I'm back. What up, though? Hey, make sure y'all come to my show on Saturday. That's all I got to say, for real, for real. And special thanks to everybody that was calling up to the jail talking about free. They talking about it was 1,000 people talking about free. Chris, this and that, free the bros. Still was 1,000 people, you know what I'm saying? They said everybody was outside. They said it was about to be like a riot outside. They had to kick everybody. They had to make everybody go home. they said it was crazy. But thanks for everybody that was showing love, talking about free Chris, They said it was, y'all crazy, y'all. I got some real supporters. I love y'all for that, man, for real, for real. They said everybody was calling. They said the whole Houston was outside of the jail trying to get me out.
Y'all just seen that little clip that he did. He said there was 1,000 people. There was rioting outside of that prison. He said that it was people calling up to the jail. He said there was thousands of people calling and talking about calling the jail, talking about free Chris. And I'm like, Chris, really? I guarantee you not a one person called up there to tell them to free him. Not a one. Then rioting outside of the prison. Really, Chris? He's so used to telling lies. Like, but that was fucking hilarious. He over here brushing his teeth talking about how there was rioting outside of the jail. People calling up talking about free Chris. Man. And then you woke up. I just feel like Chris needs to go somewhere, but it ain't prison. And that's just that's all I gotta say about it. He gotta go somewhere, but it ain't prison. I will never wish prison on anybody. That's just my thoughts and my humble opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. I feel like at the end of the day, Chris should not have to go to jail, go to prison for something that I feel Vaughn came up with. It was Vaughn's friend. It was on Vaughn's channel. And Vaughn was the one that conspired this bullshit and had every one of them motherfuckers do this shit and posted it on his channel, making the money on his channel for a whole month. Vaughn is the one that should have got $5,000 bond on his ass. And he is the one that should be facing prison. If Chris goes to prison, I just pray for baby CJ that he be okay and that he'll get through it. He's so little, you know, he might be okay. When my dad went to prison, I was like 8 or 9. I got through it. It was hard, but I got through it. So if Chris does end up going to prison and doing some time, I just pray that, you know, he gets through that. You know, baby CJ gets through it. And the whole family gets through it. But I just pray that he don't do 10 years because that's just outrageous. But again, he was impersonating a cop, y'all. That is a serious crime. That is one of these serious crimes that you can do involving the law with police and everything. And if he's over here resisting arrest, then he just probably just made it 10 times harder on his ass. This is just my opinion, but I don't feel like he deserves to go to jail for 10 years. So I'm going to keep y'all updated. Just know I'm going to keep y'all updated. We just going to have to sit back and see what happens. But that's all I have to say about this. If y'all like this video, please go ahead and like it, comment, rate, and subscribe to your girl. It helps your girl out. And I will see you guys in my next video.
I've been moving calm, no start, no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cut.